Hyenas and aardwolves. Hyenas live in the open grass or desert areas of Africa, Asia, and India. There are three types of hyenas: spotted, striped, and brown. The spotted or laughing hyena is the largest of the three.
Spotted hyenas may live in packs of up to 100. Each pack has a leader, the most aggressive member of the group. In groups of spotted hyenas, females are larger and more aggressive than males. The striped hyena has black stripes across its body and legs. The brown hyena has stripes only on its legs. Long brown fur covers its back. Lots of brown hyenas have been killed by farmers who claim that the hyenas eat their livestock. These animals are now endangered. Brown and striped hyenas live alone or in small family groups.
Hyena bodies. The hyena has a large head and wide pointed ears. Its fur grows to different lengths over different parts of its body. Unlike lions, wolves, and other large hunters, hyenas aren't very graceful.
Although the hyena looks a lot like a dog, it is more closely related to the mongoose. Mongooses are small carnivores that live in Africa, Asia, and the Hawaiian Islands. They are very good hunters, quick enough to kill even a poisonous snake without getting hurt.
The hyena's front legs are longer than its back legs. This makes the hyena move awkwardly. The hyena's walk is also different from that of most animals. The legs on one side swing forward at once. Even so, hyenas can run close to 37 miles per hour, 60 kilometers an hour.
Hunter and scavenger. Hyenas were once thought to be strictly scavengers, or animals that eat the remains of other animals' prey. Hyenas do feed on almost anything they find, but some are fearsome hunters as well.
Hyenas have extremely powerful jaws and teeth that can tear through both meat and bones. Hyenas often get nourishment from the bones left behind by other predators.
Spotted hyenas hunt in groups. Together, the hyenas can run down large animals like zebra and wildebeest. Brown and striped hyenas are mainly scavengers, but they also hunt for insects, eggs, and small mammals. They often carry away food they find and hide it to eat later.
The aardwolf. Pictured here is the aardwolf, a close relative of the hyena. Unlike the hyena, the aardwolf is a shy, timid creature. It spends the day in an underground burrow or cave and comes out only at night.
You might think that an animal with a name like aardwolf was a cross between a wolf and an aardvark. In one way, the aardwolf is like an aardvark. It feeds mainly on termites and other insects. The aardwolf's sticky tongue helps it catch as many as 200,000 termites a night. Aardwolves sometimes dig caves for themselves in abandoned termite mounds.
Superstitions. Hyenas are best known for the sounds they make. Some people find their wild laughter strangely human. According to one African superstition, hyenas imitate human voices to lure people into the bush. Another superstition is that people who practice witchcraft turn into hyenas. Flies. Have you ever heard the buzz of a fly? Did you know that the buzz is the sound of a fly's wings moving? Some flies flap their wings 1,000 times a second. Fly body. Flies make up the insect group Diptera, named because all flies have only two wings, ptera. Like all insects, a fly has three body parts: head, thorax, and abdomen.
A fly's mouth is called a proboscis. It's shaped like a tube and it's good at sucking things up. The proboscis of some flies have little sponges on the end to soak up liquid. Other flies have needle-like parts on their proboscis that stab into skin to get blood.
Each of a fly's eyes is made up of thousands of small lenses. Because of this, they are called compound eyes. With so many lenses, a fly does not see single objects very clearly. Instead, it notices even the slightest movements from any direction.
Flies have huge eyes that take up almost their whole head. The eyes of male flies are so big that they meet at the center. Flies have taste organs on their legs. They land on things to taste what they are.
Flies have a sticky substance on the bottom of their feet. Some flies also have claws. These help the flies walk anywhere, even on the ceiling. A fly's wings are so thin you can see the veins in them. A fly's body has little bumps called halteres behind the wings. Halteres are a second pair of wings that never develops all the way. They help the fly keep its balance. The name game. There are more than 100,000 types of flies. However, many insects that aren't flies have fly in their names. Use what you have learned about the fly body to pick out the real flies in the picture.
The mosquito is a fly, although it doesn't have fly in its name.
The Midas fly is the largest fly. It is 3 inches, 7.6 centimeters long, and measures 3 inches, 7.6 centimeters, from the tip of one wing to the tip of another.
The dragonfly is not a fly at all. It has 4 wings and a mouth made for biting. Butterflies have fly in their names, but they are not flies. A butterfly has 4 beautiful wings covered with colorful scales. It has a proboscis that it uses to feed only on plants. Life of a fly. Flies go through a life cycle known as complete metamorphosis. The whole life of a fly can last anywhere from a few days to a few years. A female dronefly lays eggs near a pool of standing water. Many flies begin their lives in a pile of eggs on a rotting plant or animal. A female fly can lay anywhere from 1 to 250 eggs at a time. Fly eggs hatch into larvae called maggots. Dronefly maggots feed on rotting and decaying plant and animal matter in the drain. When the dronefly maggots have eaten enough, they crawl out of the water and lie quietly while they change into adults. This period, when the flies change between larva and adult, is called the pupal stage. Some fly pupae make hard shells to live in during this stage. A few types of flies, like mosquitoes, can move around when they are in the pupal stage.
An adult fly breaks out of its pupa case in a few days. It can't fly until its wings dry and harden. Once the fly is ready, it heads off to find a mate, and the whole process starts over again.
Harmful and helpful. Flies are well known for the dangerous diseases they carry. Flies land on anything, including decaying plants and animals, where they pick up bacteria. They bring this bacteria to whatever they land on next, including healthy plants and animals. Flies never wash their feet.
Farmers have found a natural way to get rid of the millions of flies that swarm around cows and people living on farms. They get help from dung beetles. Both dung beetle larvae and fly larvae eat dung, cow droppings. The adult dung beetles snatch up the cow dung so quickly, however, that fly eggs don't have a chance to hatch before all the food is gone. Most of the fly larvae die before becoming adult flies.
Flies do have a good side. Like bees, they pollinate, take pollen from many plants. The plants wouldn't be able to reproduce without them. Research. One of the smallest flies has been a big help in research. Laboratories all over the world have thousands of jars of fruit flies. Scientists study the flies to understand how things such as eye color are passed on from a parent to a child.
Fruit flies reproduce very quickly. Scientists can mate a fly with red eyes and a fly with white eyes and find out what color eyes their many young have. The flies are kept in special glass bottles that contain food.
Cheetahs. Cheetahs can run about 70 miles per hour, 113 kilometers per hour, as fast as a car. Over a short distance, they can outrun any animal. Chasing a meal. Most big cats hunt by ambush or surprise attack. The cheetah, however, hunts by chasing its prey. Cheetahs have good eyesight. They can spot prey far in the distance, then stalk it until they are close enough to catch it.
The cheetah is the only cat that cannot withdraw its claws into its paws. Its claws are always extended. This gives the cheetah extra grip as it starts its rapid run.
About half of a cheetah's chases are successful. The average chase lasts 20 seconds. A cheetah captures its prey by knocking it to the ground and biting its throat. Then it shakes the animal, usually an antelope, until it is dead. If a stalking cheetah is seen before it gets within about 200 yards, 185 meters, of its prey, it doesn't try to make the final dash. Range. Cheetahs are disappearing in the wild. Everywhere they live, the animals have been killed for their beautiful fur. In the 1700s, people in India captured all of the cheetahs there and trained them as hunting animals. There are no more cheetahs in India today. Even though trade in cheetah skins is now against the law in most countries, people still poach or illegally hunt cheetahs. The biggest problem for cheetahs today, however, is finding a place to live. When people take over the land where cheetahs live and hunt, the animals starve.
Cheetahs once were common across Africa, the Middle East, and India. Today they live in large numbers only in Central and Eastern Africa.
Monkeys. Have you ever been told to stop monkeying around, swinging, leaping, hopping from branch to branch? Monkeys seem to play all day long.
People sometimes confuse monkeys with apes. Monkeys are smaller than apes and have tails. Apes have no tails.
Monkeys may be playful, but they are also very smart. Scientists tell of one monkey that discovered it could get rid of the dirt and sand on its food by washing it in water. Other members of the troop saw what the monkey was doing and copied it.
Kinds of monkeys. There are more than 130 kinds of monkeys. Scientists separate them into two groups. Monkeys from Africa and Asia are called Old World monkeys. Monkeys from South America and Central America are called New World monkeys.
Old World monkeys have fully opposable thumbs, meaning that, like humans and apes, they can move their thumbs to meet the tip of any of their other fingers. Being able to do this helps them grasp things. New World monkeys can't grasp objects as well.
Many New World monkeys, including the spider monkey, have prehensile tails. This means they can use their tails like an extra hand to grasp objects and swing from branches. New World monkeys usually have longer tails than Old World monkeys.
If you're not sure where a species of monkey comes from, look at the nose. Most Old World monkeys have rounded noses, with the nostrils set very close together. New World monkeys have flatter noses, with widely spaced nostrils. Troops. Monkeys live in groups that range in size from pairs to large groups containing many generations. A monkey group is called a troop. It's often led by an adult male and has many more females than males. Monkeys usually give birth to only one young at a time. A male leaves his birth troop when he reaches maturity. He may live with other young males until he can find a new group to join. A female monkey spends her whole life with her birth troop, where she eventually has her own young. A female cares for her young for years, forming strong bonds with all of them. Baboons live in groups of up to 100 animals, with both male and female leaders. Members of a troop share food and groom each other. Males sometimes fight, showing their large teeth to scare their opponents. All members of a troop join to fight other troops. It may be especially helpful for baboons to travel in numbers, because they spend much of their time on the ground, where there are large predators like lions. Monkey talk. Do you smile when you're happy? Do you pout when you don't get your way? The expressions on your face are one way you tell other people what you're thinking. Like you, monkeys use both their voices and their faces to communicate.
The howler monkey of South America is one of the loudest animals on Earth. Its cries can be heard over 2 miles, 3 kilometers away. These sounds may warn other howlers of danger, or tell them to stay out of another group's territory.
This female rhesus monkey has "Go away" written all over her face. Many monkeys stare hard to threaten an enemy. An open mouth is also a sign of aggression.
Food. You might think that all monkeys eat bananas. Some monkeys do eat fruit, but many also eat insects. Colobus monkeys eat almost nothing but leaves, and macaques hunt for crayfish and mushrooms. Some baboons can catch and eat small antelope.
The pygmy marmoset has an unusual diet for a monkey. It clings to trees and gnaws holes in the bark, and then it eats the sap that comes out.
Funky monkeys. Monkeys come in many colors and patterns. Some have truly surprising looks. See if you can guess what each of these monkeys is called. Drag each label to the correct monkey.
Will the real mustached monkey please stand up? This blue-faced beauty is it. Believe it or not, its brilliant coloring isn't that uncommon for a monkey. When the mustached monkey challenges another monkey, it moves its head from side to side to draw attention to its white striped face.
This creature may look like it should be called a mustached monkey, but it's an emperor tamarin. It gets its name from William II, Emperor of Germany, whose mustache looks sort of like its curly whiskers. Tamarins belong to the marmoset family, the smallest of all monkeys.
This big nose belongs to a male proboscis monkey. Proboscis means nose. A male proboscis monkey uses its nose to attract mates. To a female, the bigger the nose, the better. Proboscis monkeys live on the island of Borneo in southeastern Asia. They like to swim, so they are usually found in trees near rivers. This is a night monkey, also called, can you guess, an owl monkey. Owl monkeys are the only monkeys that are nocturnal or active at night. They live in rainforests and on drier, more open areas through much of South America. During the day, owl monkeys sleep high in the treetops. They wake to look for food when dusk falls, when their large eyes help them see.
Conservation. Many monkeys spend their entire life in trees. Even ground-dwelling monkeys sleep in trees, where they are safer from their enemies. When people cut down the forests where monkeys live, they put many kinds of monkeys at risk.
The northern black and white colobus monkey almost disappeared for another reason. Its beautiful white fur was very popular with fashionable ladies in Europe at the beginning of the 1900s. Shooting this monkey is now against the law, although people are still destroying the rainforests of Central Africa where it lives.
Giraffes and okapis. The giraffe is the tallest animal on Earth. Some males are 17 feet, 5 meters from their feet to their horn tips. Giraffes live in small groups on the African savanna, a mixture of grassland and trees. The giraffe stands 5 feet, 1.8 meters taller than the next tallest animal, the African elephant. But the giraffe's height is all legs and neck. African elephants weigh several times as much as even the biggest giraffe. Giraffe parts. Giraffes have some unusual body parts. Click on the pictures to read about them.
You might think that the giraffe, with such a long neck, would have more neck bones than humans do, but that's not true. Giraffes have the same number of vertebrae as you, 7. A giraffe's neck bones, however, are much longer than the bones in your neck.
A giraffe has to spread its front legs to reach the ground with its head. Think about what happens when you hang upside down or bend to touch your toes. Does it seem as if all your blood rushes to your head? The veins in a giraffe's enormous neck have special valves that keep the blood from flowing back to the giraffe's head.
Often a giraffe looks like it has 3 or even 5 horns on its head. 2 of these appear soon after birth. They're made of the same sort of material as the antlers on a deer. The others are just bumps, layers of bone that build up on the giraffe's skull throughout its life. Most often, the bumps form over the eyes or in the middle of the forehead. However, the head of an older giraffe, especially a male, may be covered with these bony knobs. Giraffes have flexible black tongues that may stick out more than 15 inches, 38 centimeters to grab a leaf. Senses. Giraffes have excellent eyesight. From their great height, they can see for quite a distance on the vast flat African savanna. Giraffes also hear and smell quite well. Giraffes' good vision makes it easy for a group to spread out on the plains without losing sight of each other. Females are especially watchful, looking for the big cats, hyenas, and wild dogs that prey on young giraffe calves. With enough warning, the group has time to gallop away from these predators.
Have you ever heard a giraffe make noise? What do you think a giraffe's voice sounds like? Giraffes are usually silent, but they can make a variety of sounds. A young giraffe may bleat like a goat if it's upset. An adult giraffe may grunt, snort, or moan quietly.
Eating, drinking, and sleeping. The giraffe eats mostly the leaves of trees and shrubs, but it has also been seen munching on twigs, flowers, and fruit. Using its long neck, it can reach parts of trees that no other animal can. Like cows, camels, and antelope, giraffes are ruminants. This means they partially chew their food, swallow it, and regurgitate it, throw it up later to chew it more completely.
Being so tall isn't all easy meals and breathtaking views. Bending over to drink is fairly awkward, though the giraffe needs water only about once a month. A giraffe even sleeps while standing up. If it does lie down, it often rests its neck on a low tree limb. Defense. Adult giraffes are so large that they only have one important predator, the lion. If attacked, a giraffe kicks its opponent with its large, powerful hoofs. Adult giraffes can sometimes kill lions this way.
Male giraffes sometimes fight each other when they are competing for mates. They bash each other with their heads and necks, making lots of noise but rarely hurting each other.
A giraffe's spots help it blend into the shadows and branches of the trees on the savanna. Every giraffe's pattern of spots is different, much like a human fingerprint.
Okapis. The okapi is the giraffe's closest relative and the only other member of the giraffe family. The okapi has a short neck, but it looks like the giraffe in other ways. Like a giraffe, it has a long black tongue and horns covered with skin. Its horizontal stripes may remind you of another African animal.
Discovered by a British explorer in 1901, okapis now live only in the rainforest of the Congo River Basin in northern Zaire. Okapis have been protected by law since 1933, but they are still hunted illegally for their valuable meat.
Elephants. Can you imagine a 275-pound, 125-kilogram baby? That's how much an African elephant weighs at birth. Elephants are the largest living land mammals. A full-grown male elephant can weigh 6.5 tons, 5.8 metric tons. A baby elephant drinks its mother's milk until it is about 4 years old. It will stay by its mother's side for 10 years. Elephants live to be about 65 years old. Two kinds of elephants. There are two kinds of elephants, African and Asian, Indian. Can you spot some differences between the two? An African elephant is slightly bigger than an Asian elephant. It has huge ears that cover its shoulders. An African elephant has a slight dip in its back and tulips on the end of its trunk. African elephants live on grassy plains. An Asian elephant has smaller ears and shorter tusks than an African elephant. It has a rounded back and only one lip on the end of its trunk. Asian elephants live in forests.
Elephant parts. From trunk to tail, elephants have some very interesting body parts.
Elephants have large ears that help them stay cool by allowing body heat to escape. This is important because elephants do not have sweat glands to help them cool off.
The trunk is formed from the nose and the long upper lip. It is strong and flexible and can reach to the ground and high into the trees.
Tusks are actually huge teeth. Elephants use their tusks to split bark from trees and to dig roots from the ground. Tusks also make good weapons. People have killed many elephants for their ivory tusks. Today, elephants are on the list of endangered species and are protected by law. An elephant's feet are wide, flat, and padded with fat. Elephants usually don't move very fast, but an angry or frightened one can run up to 25 miles per hour, 40 kilometers per hour, for short distances. An elephant has a very small tail compared to the rest of its body. Its tail is thin like a rope and is only about 3.5 feet, 1 meter long. A handy tool. Think about all the things you can do with your hands. You can pick up an apple and put it into your mouth. You can scratch the bottom of your foot. Elephants don't have hands, but they do have one tool that's more useful to them, a trunk. If you had a trunk, which of these things could you do without? If you had a trunk, you wouldn't need a shower faucet. It's a common sight to see an elephant suck up dust or water and spray itself. Doing this helps the elephant stay cool and protects its skin from sun and insects. If you had a trunk, you wouldn't need a snorkel. There are 2 nostrils on the tip of an elephant's trunk. An elephant breathes and smells through its nostrils, just like you breathe and smell through yours. Elephants can even use their trunks as snorkels if they're crossing a river. If you had a trunk, you wouldn't need a hand. An elephant uses its trunk to grasp leaves, fruits, grass, and shoots and place them in its mouth.
If you had a trunk, you wouldn't need a ladder. An elephant uses its trunk to reach high branches. A giraffe can reach food in high branches because its neck is so long. An elephant's head is so heavy, however, that a long neck wouldn't be strong enough to support it. Instead, the elephant has a long nose.
If you had a trunk, you wouldn't need a crane. Elephants can lift very heavy things with their trunks. If you had a trunk, you wouldn't need a shovel. Yes, elephants can even dig with their trunks. In very dry areas, an elephant may dig for water.
If you had a trunk, you wouldn't need a megaphone. An elephant makes noise with its larynx, just like you do, but the elephant's trunk makes that noise a whole lot louder. Elephants are especially loud when they are frightened or angry.
Trunk or no trunk, you'd still need a straw. Elephants can't drink through their trunks. To drink, an elephant must suck up water and squirt it into its mouth.
Training elephants. You may have heard the phrase, elephants never forget. It's true that elephants are very intelligent. They're also calm, strong, and live a long time. Because of these traits, elephants make good work animals. People have been training elephants for thousands of years.
Cow, female elephants between the ages of 10 and 20 years are easy to tame. Often they are trained to carry things on their backs and with their trunks. Elephants are sometimes dressed and decorated for ceremonies and parades. Circus elephants are trained to perform all kinds of tricks. There are only about 40,000 Asian elephants left in the wild. One reason is that they are captured and put to work.
Some of the most famous working elephants marched in Hannibal's army. Hannibal was the commander of the army of Carthage, an ancient city in Africa. In 218 BC, Hannibal attacked Rome. To get there, he led more than 60,000 troops, including horses and elephants, on a 15-day trek over the Alps mountains. The elephants carried supplies and fought in battles, bashing through enemy lines like tanks. In the end, however, the Roman army defeated Hannibal. Some of
Elephant history. Great tusks, huge ears, and a strong trunk. This creature looks familiar, but you've never seen one. It is the woolly mammoth, an ancient relative of the elephant.
mammoths became extinct about 10,000 years ago. Early people hunted these huge animals for food, using spears to kill them. Frozen remains of mammoths have been found in Alaska and Siberia.
Baobab trees. Baobab trees are large and strange looking. They are native to Africa, but people have planted them in many tropical countries. You can tell a baobab by its wide trunk and short, thick branches.
Baobab trees can grow as tall as 60 feet, 18 meters, and their trunks may be more than 30 feet, 9 meters across. Some branches are as thick as the trunks of other trees. The branches often stretch 75 feet, 23 meters in every direction from the main trunk. That's a lot of shade.
Upside down. According to an Arabian legend, the baobab once looked like other trees. The legend says that a devil got mad at the baobab and pulled it out of the ground. He stuck it back in upside down, with only its roots and the thick part of its trunk showing. That's one explanation of why baobabs are so strangely shaped.
Monkey bread, anyone? The fruits of a baobab tree are large, sometimes growing over 1 foot, 30 centimeters long. They are called monkey bread because monkeys like to snack on them.
Monkey bread hangs from a baobab tree on a long stem. It's much like a melon on the inside, with many seeds and a delicious pulp. Many people eat the pulp or use it to make cool drinks.
Many other uses. Because their thick trunks hold water very well, baobabs are often the largest trees growing in dry areas. This makes them valuable to both people and animals. People make medicine, rope, paper, and cloth from the leaves and bark of baobab trees. Sometimes the trees are also used for shelter or to store water. This baobab was once used as a prison.
Baobab trees are one of the only sources of shade for animals on the hot, dry African savanna. Elephants also chew on the tree's moist wood to get water. Elephants don't just walk up and take a bite, however. They knock the whole tree down. When elephants aren't around, baobabs can live more than 1,000 years.
Lions. Who is the king of beasts? The lion, of course. Even though it isn't the largest mammal, or even the largest cat, the lion is respected as if it were a king. The lion has long been a symbol of strength and courage. King Richard I of England was known as Richard the Lion-Hearted because of his bravery. Like tigers and leopards, lions are members of the cat family. Lions live mainly on the grassy plains of Africa and in the Gir forest of India.
Powerful body. The lion is the second largest member of the cat family. Only the tiger is bigger. A fully grown male lion can measure over 10 feet, 3 meters long, including tail, and 3 feet, 0.9 meters high at the shoulder.
Male lions have thick, shaggy manes. A mane protects the lion from the teeth and claws of other lions during fights. It also makes the lion look bigger, which may keep other animals from attacking it.
Lions have powerful jaws and sharp canine teeth for tearing through skin and meat.
Strong, muscular legs and shoulders help lions drag their prey to the ground.
Lions have large feet with sharp, hooked claws that help them hold on to their prey. Lions have large feet with sharp, hooked claws that help them hold on to their prey.
Lion prides. Lions are the only cats that live in groups. All other cats live and hunt alone. A group of lions, called a pride, can have 30 or more members. Each pride has a territory where it hunts and sleeps.
Since lions have no enemies except people, they can choose any spot on the savanna to take a nap. Often, a pride relaxes in the shade of a tree. Adults may lounge in the branches above. Lions rest about 20 hours each day. During this time, pride members are very friendly with each other. The cubs play and wrestle, often climbing all over their dozing mothers, who don't seem to mind.
A pride has anywhere from 4 to 12 adult female members. Females have their first cubs when they are 3 to 4 years old. The females in a pride help each other look after the cubs, and any one of them will feed a hungry cub.
There may be as many as 6 adult male lions in a pride. The strongest is the head of the pride. He protects the pride's territory from other prides and also defends the females against other males.
Lions rest about 20 hours each day. During this time, pride members are very friendly with each other. The cubs play and wrestle, often climbing all over their dozing mothers, who don't seem to mind.
There may be as many as 6 adult male lions in a pride. The strongest is the head of the pride. He protects the pride's territory from other prides and also defends the females against other males.
Hunting. Male lions truly do live like kings. Lionesses, female lions, do most of the hunting, but the males are sure to get their share of the food. That's why someone who gets the biggest portion of food is said to get the lion's share.
Lions usually hunt in pairs or small groups. Since they can't run as fast as most of their prey, they hunt by surprise attack. Some of the lions hide in the bushes and wait for other lions to chase the prey toward them. They stay low to the ground until the prey... Lions usually hunt in pairs or small groups. Since they can't run as fast as most of their prey, they hunt by surprise attack. Some of the lions hide in the bushes and wait for other lions to chase the prey toward them. They stay low to the ground until the prey is close enough to catch. Can you find the lion in this picture? If you look very closely at the bushes in the foreground, you'll see the back of its head. When the prey is within about 50 feet, 15 meters, a lion leaps toward it, grabbing at the animal and pulling it to the ground. Lions usually kill their prey by biting its throat so it cannot breathe. A team of hunting lions can catch prey as large as a buffalo, antelope, zebra, or giraffe. One giraffe is often enough to feed a whole pride of lions.
When food is scarce, male lions feed first, followed by females, and finally by cubs. Sometimes the cubs don't get to eat. This may seem cruel, but it helps keep the population of lions under control. Less than half of all lion cubs live to adulthood. If all of them lived, there would soon not be enough food for any of them.
Zebras and other wild horses. The zebra is the only member of the horse family that has stripes. Can you guess why a zebra has such a flashy coat? Click on the picture to find out.
A zebra's stripes are like a name tag. Every zebra has a different pattern. It might seem that the stripes would make zebras easy targets for lions and other predators, but some scientists think that the stripes actually make it harder for these hunters to pick one zebra out of a herd. Other wild horses. Like zebras, wild and domesticated horses and asses, donkeys, are members of the horse family. All of these animals feed almost entirely on grasses, which they bite off with their sharp front teeth. When food is scarce, they may also eat leaves and bark. Przewalski's horse is closely related to the domestic horse. Herds of Przewalski's horses once lived on the high plains of Mongolia in northern Asia. Today, there are only a few hundred Przewalski's horses left in zoos and wildlife parks around the world. This is a wild African ass, which lives in dry, rocky areas of North Africa. An ass has longer ears and smaller hooves than a horse or a zebra. Its muzzle and belly are lighter in color than the rest of its body. Asses also sound much different than horses.
Seeing, hearing, smelling. Zebras and other wild horses have very sharp senses. They have to. On the open grassland, they stay alive by being quick and alert.
A zebra's eyes are on the upper part of its head. so it can see in front and also to the sides. Zebras have very good eyesight. At night, they can see as well as a dog or an owl. During the day, their vision is even better.
A zebra's ears can swivel to detect which direction a sound comes from. When zebras want to get a really good whiff of something, they curl their upper lip back and hold their heads high in the air. They snort, which draws in air to special smell sensors in their mouths. Lifestyles. When there is plenty of food, most zebras and other wild horses live in permanent family groups. A group is made up of an adult male, a few adult females, and their young. Zebras, asses, and horses that live where food is harder to find form small groups for only a few months at a time.
A newborn zebra is called a foal. A foal can stand about 20 minutes after it is born, and it can walk around within an hour. Young males leave their family group when they are 1 to 4 years old, when their mother becomes busy with new foals. Young females are stolen away by males from other groups when the young are 1 to 2 years old.
Each zebra group has a home range where it feeds. Unlike many other kinds of animals, however, zebras don't mind sharing their land with other groups of zebras or other animals. Zebras can often be seen tagging along behind a herd of wildebeest, or letting birds called oxpeckers eat bugs off their backs.
Enemies. The zebra's worst natural enemy is the lion. Zebras use both their teeth and their hooves to defend themselves. A zebra can kill a lone lion with its powerful kicks. However, if a group of lions or hyenas attacks a zebra, there is little the zebra can do.
At least one member of a zebra group is always on the lookout for lions. If a lion gets too close, the lookout signals the rest of the group to run. Zebras can run up to 40 miles per hour, 65 kilometers per hour, much faster than lions can. A zebra may run across the path of a lion at a safe distance to see whether the lion takes interest.
People are a much greater threat to zebras and other wild horses than their natural enemies are. Wild horses are killed both for their beautiful fur and for their meat. The quagga, a yellowish-brown zebra that once lived in South Africa, was hunted to extinction by the 1880s. Today, almost every other kind of zebra, ass, and wild horse is in danger of extinction.
Nests and burrows. Most animals need shelter to protect them from enemies and harsh weather. They also need a place to rest and raise their families. People build houses. Many animals build nests and burrows. Wagtails build nests of twigs and stems. They line their nests with moss, hair, and feathers to keep the eggs warm. These natural building materials help hide the nest from predators.
The platypus digs a complex breeding burrow in the bank of a river. Each time the platypus leaves the burrow, it fills in the entrance of the tunnel to protect its young from intruders.
Nests and burrows can be in the ground, in trees, on the water, on buildings, or even in old shoes. Nests.
Nests. Many animals build nests, but birds are the most famous nesters. Nests are made of just about anything a bird can carry or make, including mud, leaves, sticks, feathers, and even saliva. Nests are made for a pair of birds or for an entire community.
Cliff swallows build their nests together on the sides of cliffs.
Birds such as the cowbird are brood parasites. They do not build nests or sit on their eggs. Instead, they lay their eggs in other birds' nests for them to raise.
Weavers build elaborate nests. The birds use their beaks and feet to weave grasses together. They can even tie knots. Weavers often make complicated entrances to their nests to prevent snakes and other animals from reaching inside and taking the eggs or chicks.
Some birds, such as the Arctic tern, simply scratch the ground a little and then lay their eggs in the open. Their eggs are colored and patterned to match the ground, which makes it hard for predators to find them.
Burrows. Burrowing animals live all over the world. Some spend most of their time underground. Others use their burrows only as an escape or place to raise their young. A good burrower has strong claws and a streamlined body. Why do you think these things are important?
The trapdoor spider digs a small burrow in the soil and covers the entrance with a door of silk web, soil, and moss. When an insect passes by, the spider flips open its trapdoor and grabs its prey.
The burrowing owl uses old burrows made by prairie dogs. The owl uses its powerful claws to make the holes bigger. Lemmings live in the Arctic. They build a maze of burrows that run below the snow. The snow acts like a blanket to keep the ground underneath it warmer than the outside. Lemmings feed on roots and underground shoots.
Desert tortoises dig deep burrows in the sand to escape from the midday sun. Their front legs end in sharp claws that help them dig. One burrowing tortoise, the gopher tortoise, may share its burrow with mice, frogs, insects, burrowing owls, rattlesnakes, or other guests.
Moles are master burrowers. They use their large front paws like spades. Moles constantly dig new tunnels to look for earthworms and insect larvae to eat. Moles rarely see daylight, so their eyes aren't very well developed. Moles use whiskers on their faces to feel their way underground. Rhinoceroses and tapirs. The first rhinoceroses existed about 30 million years ago. They were some of the largest land mammals that ever lived.
With a weight of 2.5 to 4 tons, 2.3 to 3.6 metric tons, the white rhinoceros is the second largest animal on land. The elephant is the largest.
Horned noses. Can you guess how the rhino got its name? Click on the picture to find out.
Rhinoceros means horn nose. The rhinoceros is the only mammal whose horn is on top of its nose, not its head. The horn consists of hair-like fibers pressed together into a hard mass. It may look like bone, but there is no bone inside.
Kinds of rhinoceroses. 5 kinds of rhinoceroses are still alive today. The white and black rhinoceroses of Africa, and the Indian, Javan, and Sumatran rhinoceroses of Asia.
White rhinos have broad, blunt, square-shaped lips that they use to snip off grasses and other ground plants.
The Indian rhino and the Javan rhino have only one horn. Other kinds of rhinoceroses have 2 horns.
Rhino lips. Black rhinoceroses have long, hooked upper lips. These lips are prehensile. They can actually grasp the leaves of trees and bushes. Rhinoceros skin, or hide, is extremely thick and tough. It hangs in flat sheets with folds and creases around the legs and neck. On this Indian rhino, it looks like a suit of armor. On African rhinos, however, the hide is much smoother. The Sumatran rhinoceros is the only rhino that has hair on its body.
Charge! Rhinoceroses are extremely nearsighted. They cannot focus on objects farther than about 100 feet, 30 meters, away. They sometimes charge at things they don't recognize.
A rhinoceros's ears swivel to pick up sounds from different directions. Rhinoceroses hear very well.
Rhinoceroses have an excellent sense of smell, and it's not surprising. Their nasal passages take up more room in their heads than their brains do. Habits. Rhinos are solitary creatures. Except for mothers and their young, rhinoceroses stay away from each other. Rhinos may stay away from each other, but that doesn't mean that they don't have company. Some kinds of birds, like the oxpeckers in this picture, eat the ticks and insects off a rhino's back. Male rhinoceroses use their horns to fight other males, tearing bloody gashes in the strong skin. Some rhinos fight with their teeth. Male rhinos may...
Tapirs. Tapirs are closely related to rhinoceroses. They are stout pig-like mammals that live mainly in forests. Tapirs are most active at night when they feed on plants. They are good swimmers and spend much of their time in water.
Tapirs give birth to one young after a pregnancy of about 400 days. A newborn Malayan tapir has a spotted and striped coat that gives good camouflage in the forest undergrowth. At about 6 months, the spots and stripes fade and the tapir begins to look like its parents.
In danger. Today, few creatures are in as much danger as the rhinoceros. Thousands of rhinoceroses have been killed for their horns, and all but one kind are on the official list of endangered species. Tapirs, too, are rare in many areas. They have been almost killed off by humans. Efforts to protect rhinos have succeeded in several places. White rhinos, in fact, were taken off the endangered list. As long as the price of rhino horn remains high, however, rhinos will still be hunted illegally. In some places, rhino horn and also hooves, blood, and urine are believed to hold special powers.
Here come the night creatures, they are nocturnal by nature. Vampire bat, he's so hungry, for his dinner he's a-looking for blood.
Animals. Over 1 million types of animals live on the earth. They range from tiny creatures that look like blobs of jelly to gigantic blue whales. Some walk, some swim. Animals. Over 1 million types of animals live on the earth. They range from tiny creatures that look like blobs of jelly to gigantic blue whales. Some walk, some swim, some tumble, and some fly. They live in all kinds of places, and more than half of them come out only when you're asleep.
Here come the night creatures, they are nocturnal by nature. Vampire bat, he's so hungry, for his dinner he's a-looking for blood. Using sonar, he sees you with sound. Ooh, ooh. Thousands of insects come to life, fireflies glowing in the night. The sloth, he's moving so slow. There's bony armor on the armadillo. owl is hunting seas with great big.
Even if you stayed up all night, you'd never see all the animals on Earth. Most of them haven't even been discovered yet. Some scientists guess that there are actually more than 15 million kinds. That's only a tiny number of the animals that have ever lived on Earth. Even if you stay...
What is an animal? Being an animal comes down to one thing, eating. Plants make their own food, fungi absorb theirs. Animals instead have to ingest, take in, and digest, break down, food in order to survive. As a result, animals' bodies are a lot more complicated than plants and fungi.
All living things are made of cells. Some, including bacteria, are made of just one cell. Plants, animals, and fungi are multicellular, or made up of more than one cell. Each cell has a special function.
Groups of similar cells form tissues. Muscle cells, for example, form muscle tissue.
Different kinds of tissues work together as organs. Muscle, nerve, and other tissues make up an animal's heart.
Organs work together in systems. An animal's heart works with the veins and arteries of its circulatory system to pump blood through its body. Together, all of an animal's systems let it move around to find food, digest the food, and use the energy from the food to grow and reproduce. Only a few kinds of animals don't move. The sponge, for example, spends its life anchored to a rock. It gets food by pulling food-filled water into its body.
Most plants and fungi can grow all their lives, but there is a limit to how much most animals can grow. These kittens, for example, will stop growing when they reach adulthood. During its lifetime, an animal is born, grows, matures, may reproduce, and finally dies. Most animals live much less than 50 years.
Vertebrates and invertebrates. Animals can be divided into two main groups, vertebrates and invertebrates. Vertebrates are animals that have an internal skeleton with a column of bones called vertebrae that make up what we call a backbone. Invertebrates have no backbone.
Fish. Fish include sharks, salmon, and goldfish.
Reptiles. Reptiles include turtles, crocodiles, snakes, and lizards.
Mammals. Mammals include mice, whales, koalas, and human beings.
Amphibians. Amphibians include frogs, toads, and newts. Birds. Birds include pelicans, eagles, robins, and gulls. Crustaceans. Crustaceans include crabs, lobsters, and barnacles.
Cnidarians. Cnidarians include jellyfish, corals, and sea anemones.
Bryozoans. Bryozoans include sea mats and moss animals.
Mollusks. Mollusks include snails, clams, and octopuses. Crustaceans. Crustaceans include crabs, lobsters, and barnacles.
Cnidarians. Cnidarians include jellyfish, corals, and sea anemones.
Bryozoans. Bryozoans include sea mats and moss animals.
Mollusks. Mollusks include snails, clams, and octopuses. Arachnids. Arachnids include spiders, scorpions, and mites.
Insects. Insects include beetles, flies, and fleas.
Sponges.
Echinoderms. Echinoderms include starfish, sea urchins, and sand dollars. Nematode worms. Nematode worms include roundworms and hookworms.
Centipedes. Flatworms. Flatworms include tapeworms and flukes. Annelid worms. Annelid worms include earthworms and leeches.
Millipedes.
Centipedes.
Echinoderms. Echinoderms include starfish, sea urchins, and sand dollars. Vertebrate bodies. A vertebrate animal's backbone is part of its skeleton. The skeleton lies inside the animal's body, supporting and protecting the internal organs. Muscles attach to the skeleton and pull on the bones to make the animal move.
All vertebrate skeletons have a skull that contains the brain and main sense organs. In most cases, the skeleton is made of bone and has 2 pairs of limbs. Some sea-dwelling vertebrates, such as sharks, have a backbone made of a flexible material called cartilage. The skull bones, except for the jaw, are fixed firmly together. Other bones, like the bones in the limbs, are linked by flexible joints. Each vertebrate animal has a skeleton perfect for its size and way of life. A frog, for example, has long, strong back legs for leaping.
A vertebrate animal's backbone is made up of smaller bones called vertebrae. The left side of a vertebrate's body is the mirror image of the right side. The backbone is the center line.
The skull bone.
The brain is part of the nervous system. The brain controls all of the other systems of the body, making sure they work smoothly together.
The lungs are part of the respiratory system. In the lungs, oxygen passes into the blood and carbon dioxide passes out. Most fish and some amphibians have gills instead of lungs. The kidneys filter wastes out of the blood. The kidneys are part of the urinary system.
Wastes from the digestive and urinary systems leave the body through an opening or area called the cloaca.
Food enters the body through the mouth. Air enters and exits through the nose and mouth.
The stomach is part of the digestive system. Inside the stomach, food is mixed and broken down into smaller chemical bits. The food passes to the intestines to be broken down further. Nutrients from the food are absorbed through the intestinal wall. The heart is part of the circulatory system. The heart pumps blood through the body.
Sex organs are part of the reproductive system. These organs make sex cells called eggs, female, and sperm, male. An egg joins with a sperm to make a zygote, the beginning of a new animal. Sex organs are part.
The internal organs of different kinds of vertebrate animals are not exactly alike. A frog, for instance, has a 3-chambered heart, and a person has a 4-chambered heart. All vertebrate bodies have the same basic systems, however.
The heart is part of the circulatory system. The heart pumps blood through the body. The stomach is part of the digestive system. Inside the stomach, food is mixed and broken down into smaller chemical bits. The food passes to the intestines to be broken down further. Nutrients from the food are absorbed through the intestinal wall.
Invertebrate bodies. Invertebrate animals do not have internal skeletons. Some invertebrates, such as jellyfish, protect their soft bodies with stingers. Others, like beetles and clams, have hard outer skeletons or shells to protect them.
The prawn has an exoskeleton, outside skeleton, which protects its internal organs. An exoskeleton has flexible joints. Muscles are attached to the joints from the inside and pull on the exoskeleton to make the animal move. An exoskeleton is hard and cannot grow larger. As the animal grows, it forms a new soft skeleton under the old one. Eventually, the animal bursts out of the old skeleton. When a prawn sheds its skeleton, even the delicate coverings over its feelers and eyes are cast off. An exoskeleton.
The internal organs of a prawn are a lot like those of a vertebrate. Other invertebrates, such as the liver fluke shown here, have much simpler bodies. The internal organs of a prawn are a lot like the internal Animal senses. All animals need to be aware of their surroundings. They must be able to do things like find food and mates and escape from predators and danger. Touch, smell, taste, sight, and hearing are 5 of the senses animals use to detect what is happening around them.
All snakes can taste smells in the air by sticking out their tongue. Odors in the air stick to fluid on the tongue and are drawn into the mouth. Bloodhounds have a sense of smell that's about 1 million times better than a human's. They can detect the odor of microscopic pieces of skin that are shed from a moving person.
Animal bodies produce tiny bursts of electricity, especially when they move. The bill of the platypus is very sensitive to touch. It can feel the electric current given off by a crayfish flicking its tail in the mud.
A fennec fox's huge ear flaps concentrate sound deep into each ear. The fox can hear a desert beetle kicking over sand grains.
Fish that live in dark caves or deep underwater do not need eyes to see. Animals develop senses that fit their needs. Blind fish are very sensitive to touch and movement, senses that are more helpful than sight in the dark.
All snakes can taste smells in the air by sticking out their tongue. Odors in the air stick to fluid on the tongue and are drawn into the mouth.